let's talk about this project. First thing that you need to make note of is that this is actually 55% of your project, and your souvenir, I've forgotten a letter, souvenir and food will be worth 45%. Okay, so make that adjustment, please. Also, these bonus opportunities are crossed off because they're part of your project now. What you can do for bonus is this right here. Okay, and basically what you would do, for example, if you were going to email, let's say your trip is going to Buenos Aires, Argentina, then you would do a Google search, and I'm pulling that up to show, okay, well, it's not going to let me have a miniature screen, is it? There we go. So I would type in Buenos Aires, información para extranjeros, something like that, or para viajar, viajeros, how about that? There we go. So, and then I would try to find, there we go, Disfruta Buenos Aires. So this is some sort of a place that helps you like figure out what to do in Buenos Aires. Either there's a spot at the top that's going to say something about, you know, how to contact them, or you can usually find it at the bottom. So I would say ayuda con, and yeah, I would click on the guide. Somewhere here I should be able to email them, and I'm not going to keep looking, but you can find it. So anyway, that's what I would do. Another example that I did earlier was Machu Picchu. And I clicked on, let's try this, Discover Cusco. Of course, yep, there we go. And frequently asked questions, I've got email, that's probably emailing a link, but at the bottom, I've got email, informes, right there. That's where I would start my email, okay? And your email is just going to say like, estoy haciendo un proyecto, I'm doing a project, y necesito agarrar más información, or necesito pedir información sobre viajes a Cusco, or something. Like I need to ask for information about viajes, trips to Cusco. And basically, so let me go back to this screen that we're on. So they have to email you back, and then you have to email them back, and then I think you're supposed to get a response from them, but there needs to be 2 exchanges for you to even get those points. My suggestion that I'm telling y'all is that maybe you email 3 or 4 places so that not everybody's going to respond, and that way if one place responds, then you'll be able to kind of up your odds that one place responds by sending out several. Now, if you look at your schedule for this 9 weeks, this project is due, y'all are even day, so for even day classes, I'm trying to get the glare off, it's due next Wednesday for bonus. So literally, if you show up on Wednesday with your project and food and everything, then you get 5 bonus points. Super easy. Second day it's available to you is Friday, and it's absolutely due by that day. So something to keep in mind while you're doing this. But that's your other bonus opportunity. So you can literally get 10 points bonus, and this is a major test grade, so I would look into that. Now moving right along. Your presentation is covered up here, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. The advice that I always give everybody is that you kind of consider my rubric your recipe for how to get the grades you want. And this is going to tell you exactly what I'm looking for. And I'm going to show you a video of that, of my video. There's one linked on my website. You can click on it and see what I expect in a project. Anyway, so let's move on. So again, I apologize for the typos here, but go ahead and make this adjustment as well. This is listed twice, so that's easy to cross out. It's still going to be 10 points for your video, and then it's 10 points, not 7.5 points for your craft, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, and then 15 points for your food. Now, important thing, if 1 to 2 people in your group, you prepare 1 food total. If 3 to 4 people in your group, you prepare 2 foods. And 1 needs to be savory, and by that I mean like more of an appetizer or meal, and 1 needs to be sweet. Now, you're not doing a full meal though, so keep that in mind. I really hate it when parents email me and say, why does so-and-so have to bring enough tacos for 30 people? I never said that. If I said anything, I would say there's 30 people in our class, so I would maybe bring 15 tacos cut in half, or even 10 tacos cut into thirds. This is so that people can try your food, not so that people can eat an entire meal that you brought. Think about the fact that everybody's bringing food, so there's going to be a lot, and don't overbring. All right. So let's talk about souvenirs. Now, the souvenir has to be handmade, and it has to be something that you handmade. So just because you got this really cool hookah necklace when you were in Cancun and it was a handmade item there does not mean you made it. So do not bring that. Here is a good example of something, if you can see it. This person went to Chichen Itza, and so they went and bought some popsicle sticks and made a Chichen Itza pyramid. So I'm trying to show you on the screen. There we go. Okay, pretty cool. This person went to Mexico. Chichen Itza, by the way, is in Mexico as well. This person went to Mexico, and you remember we've studied that Mexico has a big silver industry, so this is clearly not a gigantic silver coin. So what I did, what this person did, this is like wood something, and they've put all these little bedazzled stones on it. I don't know if you can see that. And I don't know if this is leather or some kind of foamy sticker, but then they spray painted it silver. So it's supposed to be a big silver coin. I love it. I think it's super creative. Okay. This person went to Peru, and you know there's lots of alpacas in Peru, lots of wool there. So they literally went and bought this yarn, and they knitted this for me. Now, I'm not suggesting that you learn how to knit for your project, but if you know how and you're going somewhere like that, it's a pretty cool craft. All right. This person went to Tierra del Fuego, and it's the southernmost part of Chile, and there's obviously a big penguin population there. So this is a Coke can, you can see on the bottom, and then at the top it's a tennis ball, and then she's covered it in black duct tape, and I think it's super adorable. So those are some of my favorite crafts. Here's another one that I've shown a lot of people. This person, this is obviously bamboo that's been just cut a lot of different times, and then they strung it together and glued it together, and it looks like a little indigenous wood pipe, right? Not pipe, flute, an indigenous wood flute. So anyway, that's another cool little thing there. I also had somebody do one, the same little wood flute, but they did it with construction paper. So not really looking for you to spend a lot of money. In fact, the more creative that you get with the less amount of money is the most impressive to me. So that takes care of your craft. There's one craft per project, per group. That's it. It's just the food that you're doing more than one of if you have 3 to 4 people. If you didn't get this from what I just wrote down, you cannot have a group of larger than 4 people. You can have 1, which means you work by yourself. You can have 2 people in your group, you've got a partner, or 3 or 4, and that's obviously 3 or 4 people working together. Sorry about that. When you're choosing your partners and when you're choosing who's going to do what, keep in mind there's some of y'all that are just absent a lot. So let's, for instance, say that John is always absent, or he's always so late to class that nobody ever gets anything from him. Or John is on the soccer team and they're going to be traveling a lot, or whatever. If you know that this person may not be in class all the time, either have their food brought in early, or have somebody else bring the food and have that person be more in charge of the PowerPoint and everything. Because if they don't show up with the food on project day, they must have a doctor's note for it to count as the food not being late. Otherwise, you lose the points that day, period. 5 points gone that day, 5 points gone the next day. But you're welcome to bring it in early, so keep that in mind. this food obviously has to be something that's very popular in your country, so you need to start looking up that. How do you say food? Comida. So comida popular de Chile, comida popular de Venezuela. I sent out a thing, and if you don't know your country yet, then you'll get that country taken care of and you'll start looking. I would suggest that you look at basically like a town. Don't just say Mexico, because Mexico's huge. Say Cancun, although that's super boring. You could do Teotihuacan in Mexico. You could do, you know, Machu Picchu in Cusco. So those are some ideas. Now, my suggestion when you're working online is to use Google Slides, which is basically PowerPoint in Google. And the reason why I would suggest that is that everybody can share that document with each other, and it auto saves all the time, so you don't have to worry about that. Good luck getting onto the computers. The laptop card is open. They better be completely turned in and turned in the right order and organized and plugged in when you leave today, or somebody's getting in trouble. And by the way, I nominate Joshua Plessinger and Ashley Avery to make sure that that cart has 16 computers on each side and that they are all plugged in the right direction and charging before y'all leave today. And nobody can leave early, so don't ask. All right. Anyway, if you are in a different one of my classes just watching this video, then obviously that's irrelevant. Now, on the screen, this is what you're going to do. So you're going to choose your country, and then you're going to do a Google search for that country's picture, or you're going to choose your location. So for example, Machu, I never spell it right, Picchu, photos, graciosos, or let's say chistosos, chistosas. All right, so there's people that have taken all these funny pictures in Machu Picchu. Obviously, King Julian was never there, but there's all these alpaca pictures that are just hilarious. And then I don't know what's going on there, but that's pretty funny. So you're going to take, obviously, don't put anything that's inappropriate for school. That one's kind of cool. So you're going to take photos that you find when you did a search for Machu Picchu. That's obviously not Machu Picchu. Don't put it in there. And you're going to write a story and tell a story about your fictitious trip to Machu Picchu, or whichever country you choose, based on the photos you found. Like maybe you ran into a shaman and he told you how to cure old age, and this is a picture of that. Everything's going to be in the past tense. It can be preterite or imperfect. The native speakers in your class can help you make that decision. I can help you make that decision. But I mean, it's more fun when you make a story that's funny, but it doesn't have to be funny. So anyway, you're using the pictures that you find to make a story, and you're going to watch my video that I made, and I did it in the same way. So anyway, next class, hopefully, and the class after that. So today is Tuesday, so Thursday's class, and really, guys, I'd love to get it done this week so that it's off y'all's plate. So aim for Thursday having your slides done and all of the words and all of the pictures in them, so that on Thursday we'll do speaking sheets, and we'll also do y'all recording yourselves with the presentation. So everybody will be outside except for you and your group, and y'all will be in here recording, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And that way it'll be done, and the only thing you'll have to do is get your souvenir and your food here for the party day, or for the presentation day. So that is it, and now you should watch the video called Mi Viaje Fenomenal. All right, bye.